Welcome, everyone, to the Daniel Krug and Associates Market Update for May 2026. We're going to be talking a little bit about what's going on here in the markets, the economy, and an update on AI and how it can benefit our clients. My name is Rocky Isfan. I'm the Chief Compliance Officer and Associate Wealth Manager with Daniel Krug and Associates. Daniel Krug will be joining me in today's presentation. I'm going to jump right in and talk about what's going on with the economy. Obviously, we're seeing some impacts negatively, although small, to the economy right now due to the war with Iran. If you look at on the left side here, we've kind of outlined 5 of the indicators that have moved a little bit since April. April is on the right side. Starting with the top left, monetary policy has slipped back into the neutral zone a little bit. This is because the Fed has delayed any lowering of interest rates. We kind of view that as a slight negative for right now. We do believe it will still happen the second half of this year. The next one is the U.S. economic outlook. Obviously, with the war going on, that has moved a little bit from positive to neutral. Consumer sentiment actually, though, has improved, which is hard to explain. I think partially why we've seen an improvement in going into May in consumer sentiment is because the initial shock of the war and everything, the uncertainty is kind of settled into more of a understanding where the economy is at. It hasn't impacted the job market and things like that to a greater extent. So consumers are feeling a little bit better than they were a month ago.
I wonder how much, Rocky, that people are feeling better because they're starting to get the checks coming in from their taxes as well.
That's another thing is April 15th, the tax day has passed and people have gotten their refunds and gotten more than they expected or have seen in the past. So that's pretty important. However, when we're looking at the last indicator there at the top right, disposable income has slipped a little bit. And part of that is due to the increased cost of gas, at the pump. And we're believing that is just going to be temporary. I also want to point out at the bottom of this chart, the equity market valuations has actually improved. And I think what's going on there, Dan, is that companies they're beating their earning estimates.
Yeah.
Profitability is up, and that's being reflected in the stock market. But the fact that the price to earnings ratio of stocks has improved over the last month or so, that's a positive. And we see that kind of moving forward throughout the rest of this year. It looks like we're going to have a pretty strong year from earnings and profitability standpoint for the S&P 500.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, Rock, because on that slide, I don't know the last time I saw it where it was almost all yellow.
Yeah.
And not have any red in it at all. So that's
a positive.
Yeah.
Here's our markets. Year to date is on the right side and the month of April on the left side. I want to focus year to date first. On the right side of the chart, you can see that U.S. equities are up year to date 5.7%. The international markets are up about 6.4%. But the nice surprising event in April and year to date is the emerging market. Equities have recovered very strong. And if you look at the left side, for the month of April, emerging markets was up 14.7%. So the fact that it was up year to date 14.6%, it was negative at the beginning of April there. So that was quite a nice rebound to see. And that's been reflected in the global portfolio allocations that we've got a nice little bump in those portfolios. When we look at the bond market, however, it's just barely staying positive. We don't think it's going to go negative. But again, while interest rates tend to be high, the current bond yields out there are lagging a little bit. So that's kind of a recap where we're at from April and year to date in our markets. We're seeing some solid growth moving forward.
Well, it's been an interesting ride over the last month and a half because, you look back a month ago and things were down in the market as a whole. Obviously, there's been a total rebound. There's been multiple newscasts out there that are saying things from the positive and the negative side.
Right. There's a lot of information out there on both sides, but that tends to be the time we make money in the market.
Absolutely. And it's happening now too.
Yeah. And people are getting paid for risk. And that's what, we're doing with our investments, that we're monitoring the risk of the portfolios and making sure that it stays in line with your personal risk tolerance.
Yeah, very, very much so.
So,
all right, let's go on to the next section then. So we're going to be talking about elevating client service with AI. We sent out an email just a little bit ago about some of the changes that are going on here at Daniel Krug and Associates. And it's kind of interesting. We're getting some feedback, which is really nice to have. Some of the feedback is, okay, you're using AI. How is it going to affect us as clients? So I'm going to go into really a deeper dive into what it looks like from an office standpoint first, and then how does that translate into a benefit for our clients. So there were really 5 objectives that we had for staff to allow us to be more efficient and actually be able to bring more service to clients. So the 5 kind of go like this. One was to have the team spend more time advising and less time doing administrative work. And that box gets checked off with AI because it allows us to get a whole lot more done in a lot less time. The other one was planning opportunities, trying to make it easier for us to identify different planning opportunities for clients and go quicker into a deep dive for them. And that box got checked. The next one, advanced planning preparation, it becomes clearer, cleaner, and less repetitive for us. Well, what does it mean if it's less repetitive? Well, quite frankly, it means that the amount of time to create the reports, to get the data and the information is shorter. And that just makes the planning process easier for us to be able to get the right data and make decisions for clients. And that box was checked. The next one, help us coordinate across the whole financial picture for clients. That's another thing that AI is allowing us to do, is actually with gathering information faster and more efficiently, it allows us to see the bigger picture in front of us. And some of the AI we're bringing in is going to give us a greater and more detailed picture of the different aspects of the financial planning for clients. So that part there is definitely a big check mark for that box. And then lastly, and really the broader part, is get the staff workload to become much lighter. You know, when you guys all think back when you were working, did you ever get that list of items to be done completely checked off so you went into the next day with no additional work? Well, the answer is probably no. And the fact is that's the way it is with business today as well. You tend to have 120% of work to be done. Even if you got the 100% of work done within the time allotted, you still have stuff left over for the next day. And what our goal is to get the staff workload down to where we can absolutely complete all the tasks for that day and have more time left over for clients. That's the important part right there, is allowing us to make that extra phone call, send an extra gift when there's an event going on with a client. Just really being able to reach out to you so you can tell that we were there, we care, and we really want to serve you in the best way possible. And that kind of brings me to the next slide. The next slide is the overview of how AI helps our clients. And at this point, it's really all behind the scenes for you. One thing I said in the last AI update that we did was that we would never use AI to replace us when it comes to communication with clients. And that holds fast. You're not going to be calling up and getting some kind of AI answering the phone. It'll be interesting because I think I had a conversation with Danny earlier today. He was talking about the fact that many of these companies go abroad for their calling centers. And I started thinking about that, and I'm thinking, you know what? What will probably change in the future is that they won't go abroad anymore. They'll use AI to be communicating with the clients. And that's something we don't want to have happen. We want you to be talking to a human at all times. So we will always be communicating on the phone with you, with a person when you call, or when you step in, you're not going to be going to a screen to talk to AI. you'll be talking to us physically. So that's an important aspect of it. Going on to the list here, some of the priorities that we had for our clients. First one, get faster follow through after meeting. I think some of you are probably already seeing that after my meeting, after Rocky's meetings, after any of the staff meetings, the follow-up email to you is actually getting out that day and sometimes within an hour after the meeting. So we want to increase that follow through and the time to be shortened in every aspect that we can. So that's one of the things we're focusing on, and we're already seeing that happen. More personalized communication. Again, when we have more time, we can take more time for you. And that's a very, very important aspect of what we do. This is a people oriented industry. We're going to make sure that we're always personally communicating with you. So that box is going to be checked. The next one, client benefit from the best of breed tools without feeling the complexity. The reality is you shouldn't feel AI in any aspect with our office. You should be feeling that everything's becoming more and more and more efficient, and that the communication just keeps broadening for you. The next one, enhanced reporting transparency. Again, the more information we get, the more data we can gather together in a shorter period of the time, enhances our reporting ability and certainly gives you a much better transparency of what it is we're trying to accomplish for you and the benefits that you are going to get out of it. Last one, again, more time for personal client connection. That is the main reason we're doing this, is to actually get more time with you, our clients. That's the important part. That's what all of us love to do. So that is the focus, and you're going to see a big change down the road. I know I hear it from clients all the time. It's like, you know what, you guys do so much for us already. Yeah, well, we just want to raise the bar one more time. So those are all the benefits that we believe that we're going to be giving to our clients moving forward. And I think it is very likely you're already seeing it happen as of today. So again, what does it mean for you? It's just a bigger picture, a higher touch experience powered by smarter tools for us. And it, again, allows for a much stronger long-term relationship with you. And that's important for us. So the future of client service is really, no, AI is not taking over. It's using AI technology to enhance the experience and the personal relationship with you. And the emphasis is always going to be on service for you. Those are the real big things right there. So any thoughts on that, Rocky?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of learning how to do math in school. You were doing it on a piece of paper, but then we got to the place where you got a calculator and you could do it on a calculator. And then we have computers. So I'm not doing complicated calculations and stuff. And I can do these all on the computer. It saves me time to let a computer do complex math problems and calculations and stuff like that. That's all we're trying to do, is take AI and use it to enhance what we're already having to do, automate what we can't or could do, but it takes us too long to do it, get those answers quicker to clients, get the changes incorporated quicker, follow-up actions to any meetings, things like that. So we're just trying to improve service, and you're not going to see this. This isn't something that's going to be up front. It's like the computer in the back end going on, doing this work for us to help present a better experience for you as clients moving forward.
And, you know, like I said in the last update that we had for AI, we are doing this in a very, very secure manner. Everything's held in a box for us, doesn't leave the office. So it is a secure environment. So it is not like other people can access your information. The data is secure. The systems are secure. So I'm really excited. I think there's going to be so much good coming down the road for this office and absolutely for the clients. It's interesting. I was talking to a gentleman who's really high up in the tech world, and he just mentioned that, you know, there's going to be companies that are way out on the fringe. And the good thing about that is you've got someone who's working out there and integrating things. But the bad part is the person who's doing it, they're spending a lot of money, and there's a lot of errors that come about when you're trying to implement something right from the beginning. Then you've got the people that are in the forefront, and they're actually utilizing a lot of the real good tools that are out there today that are proven at this point, and actually implementing them to the degree that it really, really will benefit the clients. And that's kind of where we are right
Yeah.
now. And then he said there's also a whole nother subgroup out there that just is not doing anything. And they're the ones who are probably going to be out of business within the next 5 years. So it's here. We're going to utilize it in the best way we can for our clients and make sure that it is done in a safe, secure manner.
Right. And the bottom line is it's got to improve the experience for the clients, or we're not going to do it.
Absolutely.
So just remember that. That's our goal.
Good point. Very good point. Okay. That's it for today. If you would like to review this webinar, just go to our website at mydkna.com, click on Visit with Us, then click on DKNA YouTube, and it'll take you directly to our website where you can see all the different videos. And there's no need to worry. We're ready for 2026 and beyond. So you take care of your family, and we will take care of you.